Ladies and gentlemen, K-Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is pretty much flat here on the S&P. As you can see, 0.03% down. But it looks like we did see NASDAQ up about 0.5% there, as you can see on that scroll. And we did see Russell 2000 up about 1%. Coming up here, semiconductor, let's see, flat there, 0.04%. Let's see how the banks were doing today. It looks like they were up about 0.2%. So overall, flat day on the S&P, but we did see small caps up 1%, NASDAQ up about, 0.5%. I did notice that the energy sector is up 2%, I think, today. Let's try to figure out what happened here today and what we can expect going into tomorrow. So on the last night's update, we talked about how best case scenario for the sellers is gapping it down. And we also noted the fact that my short-term moving average is declining. So it looks like we actually gapped down very slightly there. Oh, no. It looks like actually this is where it closed. We gapped down here. Yeah, that's what happened here. So this is where it closed yesterday. And then we gapped down here. And bears came down, rushed it, came down to about 364.50. We talked about this level as the gap support. My midterm moving average is residing in that vicinity. So quickly we got the move back up to the upside. And then what happened? Well, my short-term moving average is continuing to make things hectic for the buyers here. So second hour, buyers really made that attempt to make a move to the upside, right? But you can see my short-term moving average just right there, just right here. Not to mention we got some pivots here coming, and so all of that is now acting as resistance. And then on the third hour, look and see, we're just right beneath those pivots and the resistance and the falling short-term moving average. Fourth hour, the short-term moving average is weighing it down. And we got the fifth hour continue to weigh it down. And then a sixth hour, there was another attempt to make a move. You see that long upper wick here exposed and did not close above my short-term moving average. We closed right on it. This market is going to make sure that you're going to keep guessing what the market is going to do next day. So, looking at this here, looking at in the minor term, if buyers can't make things move to the upside quickly, we're starting to see this level as potentially that lower high, right? So with today's move in the micro term, when I say micro term, I mean last couple days here or so, I want to label this market neutral to bearish, right? Neutral to bearish. So half and half, a little bit neutral, a little bit bearish, right? Because we don't have the lower low yet, right? So we don't have minor term downtrend yet. We're still kind of hanging around here, right? So in the minor term, we may look at this as a lower high, but we don't have the lower low to confirm. So if buyers can kind of get up here and start cultivating higher lows and higher highs, that minor term sentiment can change quickly. That's what's minor term, because that sentiment is going to change quickly. Let's go to look at things in more of a shorter term here. So in the short term, what's going on right now is this level right here, 364. It's that gap support. That level acted as support very, very quickly this morning. Right now, the problem is, though, my short-term moving average is continuing to decline, weighing it down. And we also got the rising pivot now potentially acting as a resistance. Same thing here. We got the rising support potentially acting as resistance. But at the same time, we have my midterm moving average rising, and we got the horizontal support. So we're kind of sandwiched between here. But looking at things in the short to midterm here, we want to continue to give, I will say in the short term, I'm more neutral just because just looking at it in the last several weeks here or so, but looking at things in more of a short to midterm, right? Maybe a month and a half or so. We do have these higher lows and higher highs here, right? And this could potentially be that higher low. We don't know that yet as of today. So we got a couple things to work with going into tomorrow, right? So we do have that rising pivot, that's not rising, that's a horizontal support, prior resistance, new support, coinciding with this gap area. My midterm moving average hovering in that vicinity, making sure, right, no bears trying to get beneath that. We found support there, right? And we got this short-term resistance there with the short-term moving average declining and potentially some of these, potentially previous rising pivot, previous rising uptrend support, potentially becoming resistance. I'm saying potentially because we don't know that yet. This thing could get right back up and start cultivating that higher low. So overall, I think we want to still be in that bullish uptrend, sentiment. Our posture, right? Our posture going into tomorrow should be overall bullish with the, minor term, like the micro term, right? The micro term, short term hecticness going on right now in the market. That's how I interpreted this. And if you're a long-term investor, if you're a position trader, nothing to worry about. If you're more of a shorter-term trader, you do want to see, and you're long on this, you do want to see this thing breaking above 36750 and holding it above, right? So, again, first 2 hours important. I said the same thing yesterday. First 2 hours will be important for the buyers to stay above my short-term moving. And you guys remember I said that. This was a first hour. This is a second hour. We were not able to stay above my short-term moving average on that second hour. That upper wick got exposed. And then you see how the weakness came on the third hour, fourth hour, and the fifth hour, right? I'm going to say the same thing. If the buyers want to see momentum getting back to the upside, first 2 hours tomorrow, we want to stay above 36750 and hold above it. There's good chance there could be some kind of run tomorrow. If not, we continue to struggle beneath some of these pivots and my short-term moving average. This thing is probably going to come back down to retest at 364, trying to see what this midterm moving average is all about. Bear's going to try to figure that out. And so that's what's in store for tomorrow. Let's check out that oscillator, maybe if we can get a little bit better idea. First of all, we have to say that, obviously, we don't know yet because we've seen how sometimes we get a cross and it can come back down, right? We saw something similar right here. Like we saw that cross and then there's a whipsaw happening and we did see another move to the downside on that oscillator. However, it was a little bit different scenario than October. We were in a micro term to short term downtrend. If I actually go to October here, look at this. This is October here. October, you can see right here. That's pretty much all that October move. Do you see that right there? That was definitely in a downtrend. We have a series of lower highs and lower lows. You see that? And what happened in that process? You see how my oscillator never gets to the top of its band, right? It prematurely pulls back down, right? Bulls don't have enough push, enough power to bring it all the way back up to the top of its band. And you see how prematurely curls back down. And that's kind of what's been happening with the opposite side of that was happening in an uptrend. We've been in this uptrend. What happens? Bears are prematurely seeing that cross, not able to bring it all the way back down, right? So that's what we're in a different environment. And because we're in that environment right now, we're not in a downtrend. We're still in an uptrend. So that cross has some weight to it, some weight to it. That doesn't mean it's not gonna go up a little bit and do a little bit of whipsawing here and do a little bit of bear bullish divergence like we saw. We saw that here and here, here and here. But in that process, what did the market do? Sideways, sideways. So let's say this thing's gonna come back down to retest 364 area. What would that be like? Sideways. And then what would the oscillator look like? Maybe something like this, right? Looking something similar like that. Like it happened here, 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 here. So like I said, yesterday, pretty much this week, you let buyers hang around. Bulls, you let buyers hang around, right? They are going to try to bring it back up. And that's what they did here. That's what they did here. And so we're kind of seeing bears letting bulls hanging around, especially the fact that we just saw that oscillator crossing. So I'll come back. It will be important how the market behaves tomorrow, right? And I think that short-term moving average will be the key. We buyers want to reclaim it and stay above it, right? And I think, again, the price to keep in mind is 360. What is it? 366. Let's go back here. Here, I'll put that right here. So 367.20. If we can stay above 367.20 tomorrow and hold above it, right? I think there's a good chance there might be another run to the new all-time highs. But we start to struggle here, and there's a chance. You see, we've seen some upper wicks here, and because some of these pivots I can extend it, we might even see some run. And then, towards the second hour or so, we start to see that upper wick expose. That's going to be the weakness. And then this might come back down to 364. You guys enjoy your evening and good luck trading tomorrow.